Yo, LaShawn McCoy is here with that big chain? What? LaShawn McCoy? I wasn't even planning on watching Undisputed today, but 49ers. I gotta watch, see what they gotta say, man.
Almost certainly will disagree with what I just
got
said.
upset.
My man Keyshawn Johnson all the way across from me. And looky here, we got LaShawn McCoy, six-time Pro Bowler who did play for those hated Eagles for 6 seasons. You can, of course, see LaShawn every day on FS1 Speak, but he joins us today to talk about what happened last night. Nice to see you, sir. I cannot compete with your bling. Even I can't compete with all that stuff.
We had to bring in a little bit of reinforcement for you.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit of reinforcement.
You're going to need some help today because I think you're running scared.
I knew exactly what was going to happen as the clock started to tick.
What did you learn about Brock Purdy and the 49ers last night?
I didn't actually be honest with you, Skip. I really didn't learn anything. The thing that I learned is a 17-game season. I'm not about to get all prisoner of the moment in this situation. You look at the
NBA starts later, man.
Where it was at. You look at the things that happened in the
game.
There was
you
no
know
Deebo Samuel to be seen.
No reason.
That is the toughness that we talk about. The aggressiveness, the physicality. It was missing. Trent Williams' physicality once again missing. Now look, when you start to break down the game from beginning to end, obviously the interception by Ward didn't lead to any points, so to speak, right?
Because McCaffrey fumbled.
Now McCaffrey fumbles the football. That was a mistake. You missed the field goal. That was a mistake. So you start to look at the team and you assess it right before the half. The young pup in Jordan Addison, I'd like to claim him at USC, even though he started his career at Pitt Panthers. But I'm going to claim him much like Oklahoma claims Jalen Hurts because that's where he ended at.
That's where he learned to throw the football.
Expect a lot of Undisputed now with the NBA back, man.
When you talk about those sort of things, he takes the ball away from
Ward,
scores a touchdown. Now when you look at it, the thing that, and I know I started off by saying I didn't learn a whole lot because it's a 17-game season. What I did learn is the Minnesota Vikings defense played when they needed to, solid and sound. Unlike
playing better.
When they played against the Philadelphia Eagles, giving up 260-plus yards on the ground and only allow 60 yards on the ground or so against the San Francisco 49ers. So they completely stepped up to the plate. When you mitigate something away from Brock Purdy that allows him to be Brock Purdy. Purdy played okay, didn't play great, didn't play bad. Last 5 minutes of the game, the 2 interceptions, ill-advised throws, in my opinion, in terms of those picks. You look at when he's played from ahead, he's 12-1, 12 touchdowns to 1 interception. When he's had to come from behind, he's had 5 TDs and 4 INTs. So you start to look at that and you start to break things down and you say to yourself, this was not the best game played by the San Francisco 49ers. Nick Bosa looked like another defensive end in the conference. I'm not going to mention any names. I think you know who I'm talking about. He didn't put any pressure at all on the quarterback, so to speak, and harass them.
We dissing.
Yes, this is the defense.
Did he play?
This is the defense that was one of the
last night.
I don't remember. Did he play?
This was one of the top defenses a couple weeks ago. They are still a top defense, although they've gone and made some mistakes along the way. Now, I understand the party is on. They got the same record. But the one thing, Skip, that you are missing, they beat the you-know-what out of y'all. So they're ahead of y'all.
That was a long time ago. That was ancient history.
Doesn't matter, though, man.
You always tell me, what does it matter about you?
Buddy, that wasn't that long ago, buddy.
No. Yesterday meaning 1970, not 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about history. A couple days ago.
Shane McCoy, can you do any better than that?
I mean, you talking about that. They're not the best team in the NFC.
No.
See, that's what I learned. See, what I learned from these last 2 weeks is that they are not the best team in the NFC. It's easily the Eagles, right? That's another topic. But one thing about Brock,
we'll get to that in just a minute. Yes.
Brock Purdy is a young quarterback. And I think these last 2 weeks his youth has showed, especially when a lot of the players are not there, right? You talk about Deebo Samuel's not being there. Trent Williams. And even McCaffrey not being 100%.
He was not.
They're used to this team being the bullies. Last night, I didn't see no bullies. I see the Vikings being bullies. I seen the Vikings staying up to this tough 49ers team. I mean, the first 5 weeks, we talked about how he's, been 5, what is he? No picks. Last 2 weeks, got 3 picks. That's for a reason.
There you go.
When the running game is not working for the Niners.
It was not.
You're starting to see the youth. Brock Purdy forcing these throws. He played solid, but he didn't play well enough to win. And I think the way they win is they run the ball well. They play tough physical defense.
Yes.
I mean, they've been averaging 30 points a game. Last night, what they had, 17? What are they?
17,
Come
21.
on. So you're seeing the formula of how they win games. And I think Brock Purdy is still the second best quarterback in NFC. I still believe that. Just that the formula how they win. They need to run the ball. They need to be able to dominate on the line of scrimmage, get McCaffrey going, and get some of his players back. Because if not, we're going to keep saying this. Lose, lost.
Well, they lost some of the physicality. And I
That's
think,
right.
Skip, you know that. I think you don't want to admit it, but when you lose 2 anchors on your offensive side of the ball,
That matters.
not play
Yeah.
from a physical standpoint, that matters.
Okay. So you can chalk this up to on any given Sunday or Monday night in the National Football League that you both played at in a high level. But it's starting to feel like for the 49ers, it's every given Sunday, because just when I thought they were about to separate from the world and go into
Now,
another
Skip about to say some
galaxy,
bullshit,
another
Mal.
universe far, far away,
Skip about to say some
they
bullshit.
went up to Cleveland and lost to P.J. Walker. They went up to Minnesota and they lost to a Kirk Cousins who was 2-10 on Monday Night Football, who was 12-21 overall on any big stage, solo stage night games that he's played in his NFL career. They went up to Minnesota, where my Dallas Cowboys went up there 3 years ago with Andy Dalton at quarterback and beat Kirk Cousins. 2 years ago, we went up there with Cooper Rush at quarterback in his first NFL start.
No, the Vikings are
and beat
terrible,
Kirk
honestly. I don't know
Cousins.
how you
Last
lose to the
year,
Vikings. Like, that's
we,
really
the
bad.
Dallas
That is
Cowboys,
really
went
bad.
to
Like, you're not supposed to
Minnesota
lose to the Vikings.
and played
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins prime
Cousins
time?
and beat
Come on,
him
man.
40-3, which
Come on,
is
man.
even worse to me
Kirk
than
Cousins prime time,
42-10.
man.
We beat Kirk Cousins 40-3,
Kirk
and Kirk Cousins
on
threw
prime
the
time?
all-time
Almost,
party last night on a defense that I
That's
have
a
had to
little
hear
crazy if you ask
incessantly about.
me.
Is dominating and too physical and blah, 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 blah. And wait a second. 8 of 13, Kirk goes on third down, and they roll up 452 yards and punt only one time. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And they get it. Do the Minnesota Vikings, they get it first and goal at the 2 and come away with the field goal, and first and goal at the 1 and come away with the field goal. This actually could have been a lot worse than 22-17. And
I mean,
again, how could I not love what Brock Purdy had done through 10 games, because he won his first 10 games?
Maybe the Bengals next
Probably would have won the NFC Championship game at your Eagles if he hadn't gotten hurt. I don't know, but the way they were rolling, I would have liked their chances. But I kept telling Keyshawn, I watched Brock Purdy a whole lot at Iowa State. I watched him for 4 years at Iowa State, and I never saw this. I saw kind of a gamer, maybe an overachiever a little bit, who knew how to play and gutsed it up and gave you this best shot and blah, blah, blah.
All right, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Interesting.